வாங்க ஒரு சிம்பிளான விஷயத்தை பார்க்கலாம்.
Welcome back to the Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. So we're going to look at your body as a machine. I mean, it's a highly complex piece of biological machinery, right? And just like any engine, it needs oxygen to run. But what happens if the intake valve is fundamentally broken? Today, we're actually stepping away from our phones and laptops to diagnose a critical internal hardware issue, your breathing. Actually, wait, I want you to freeze for just a second. Literally, don't change a single thing about what you're doing right now. Just ask yourself, are you holding your breath? Or, maybe you're taking these tiny, shallow, barely there sips of air. This happens to us all the time without us even realizing it, and it completely hijacks our performance. You see, breathing is an automatic process because you don't actually have to think about it to stay alive. It just kind of runs in the background. But over the years, we unknowingly develop these terrible software glitches in how we breathe. We pick up poor patterns, and those patterns get hard-coded into our daily lives. Well, today, consider us your biological IT support. We're going to patch those glitches and fix your bodily hardware once and for all. Now, real quick, before we run this diagnostic check, this explainer is strictly for educational purposes. I'm an educator, not a medical doctor, so please always consult a healthcare professional before changing up your health routines, especially if you happen to suffer from severe sleep issues. Okay, let's dive into this. Bug number 1, the snoring trap. Let's demystify the jargon right out of the gate. We're talking about mouth breathing, and it is exactly what it sounds like, pulling air in through your mouth instead of your nose. Sounds totally harmless, right? But the mechanical difference it makes to your body is actually staggering. Think about it this way. Your nose is expertly designed to act as a natural air filter and heater. It literally preps the air for your lungs. But your mouth, that's a fast, dry bypass. When you bypass that protective nasal filter, especially while you're lying down asleep, man, you're asking for trouble. You're shooting unconditioned air straight into a highly sensitive environment. And here's the mechanical result of that bypass. That fast, dry air hits the back of your throat, and it rapidly dries out the tissues there. Because they're dry, they lose their normal elasticity, and they just start flapping and vibrating loudly against each other. That vibration is exactly what we call snoring. If you're waking up with a dry mouth or maybe dealing with a very grumpy partner in the morning, you're caught in the snoring trap. By switching your hardware back to nasal breathing, you filter the air, keep that tissue moist, and give yourself and, let's be honest, your partner a truly peaceful night's sleep. Moving right along to bug number 2, the energy killer. Why does your bodily battery drain so incredibly fast during the day? Well, let's break down the next glitch, which is shallow breathing. This means taking tiny, short, restricted breaths that really only manage to fill the very top half of your lungs. You're basically using a fraction of your engine's actual capacity. It's crazy when you consider the contrast in how we breathe at different stages of life. Have you ever watched a baby sleep? Their belly goes up and down, expanding smoothly like a little balloon. That is the correct, relaxed way to breathe. But as we become adults, well, we get stressed. We unconsciously start pulling our stomachs in super tight. We restrict our diaphragms and end up just heaving our chest and shoulders to pull air in. We literally trade efficient, relaxed belly breathing for tense, stressed out chest breathing. And here's the thing. When you only breathe with your chest, you simply do not pull enough oxygen into your bloodstream. Your system is literally starved of the very fuel it needs. So because oxygen levels drop, your heart is forced to overwork, pumping harder and faster to distribute whatever little oxygen it can actually find. Your body physically feels like it's running out of gas because on a chemical level, it kind of is. So the crucial point here is that dreaded 2 p.m. slump. This chronic lack of oxygen is the exact mechanical reason you hit that massive wall of extreme fatigue mid-afternoon every single day. It's not necessarily what you ate for lunch. It's the fact that you've been starving your engine of oxygen for the last 6 hours. Which brings us to bug number 3, the focus destroyer. A super relatable, very modern issue that absolutely ruins productivity. We call this one screen apnea. It's defined as unconsciously holding your breath or breathing very poorly while you're looking at your phone or staring at your computer monitor. Remember at the very start of this explainer when I asked if you were holding your breath? If you caught yourself freezing during an interesting part, yeah, you're already experiencing this phenomenon. The physiological trigger for this is fascinating. When we read emails or scroll social media, our brain actually enters a state of mild panic. I know it sounds crazy, but our modern technology induces this ancient physiological freeze response. Like a deer caught in the headlights, we stare at our screens, we stress out, and we literally stop breathing. The logic here is totally inescapable. The digital panic causes you to freeze, the freeze stops your breath, and then your brain loses its steady supply of oxygen. And without oxygen, your brain simply cannot concentrate. So if you suffer from brain fog and terrible focus at work, the primary culprit isn't a lack of coffee. It's the fact that you are holding your breath in front of your monitor. Okay, so we've identified the glitches: mouth breathing, shallow breathing, and screen apnea. Now let's talk about the system reboot. Fixing your breathing engine is going to change your entire life. And the mechanical fixes are simple but profound. First, consciously switch to nasal breathing to filter the air and silence your sleep. Second, practice those relaxed baby belly breaths to flood your body with energy. And third, remind yourself to breathe continuously and consciously when you sit down at your monitor to cure that brain fog. Epic Tech Skills has also provided some phenomenal free resources to help you master this, including their guides to natural immunity, 100% stress relief, and better sleep without pills. They are absolutely incredible tools to help you achieve endless energy and laser-sharp focus. I want to leave you with one final thought as we wrap up this explainer. You take roughly 20,000 breaths every single day. That's 20,000 opportunities to either fuel your system or starve it. So ask yourself, starting right now, how many of those are you getting right? Keep an eye on your hardware, breathe deep, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.
இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருந்ததுன்னா லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. Thank you for watching.